All right, guys, welcome back. Today we are talking about eating out. So this video is about eating out when you want to stay on track. This is not eating out when you are having your, one meal of the week where you're going off track or anything like that. This is when, you're out of town or you're meeting people for dinner and you want to stay on track, you want to keep going with your goals and all that kind of stuff. So here we go. These are just going to be some tips to make it simple so you know what to do. And I've, of course, got them written down for us. So, first things first, and this is a super simple one, the serving sizes when you go out to eat at most places are way bigger than any serving size you would eat at home. So, that's just something to keep in mind. That's something to remember when eating and forcing yourself to eat and finish the food. There is nothing wrong. It's actually probably better most of the time to take a portion of that food home. Especially, the dinner servings and stuff, super huge. They generally come with, like the protein and the two sides, and they give you a big serving of all of it. So remember, nothing wrong with taking it home. You don't need to force yourself to eat all of it just because it's there. So remember to check in with how full you are feeling. It's generally easier to do that when you're at dinner with people than say maybe at home where you're scarfing it down really fast. Because when you're at dinner with friends or you're out to eat, generally we eat a little bit slower. We're having a conversation, we're taking our time, which is great because it gives us a chance to check in and say, okay, am I full already? Do I need to eat the rest of this? So remember, serving sizes are often really, really big. So make sure you eyeball it and remember kind of what your serving size looks like when you're making it for yourself. Compare and take the extra home. Just a super simple tip to start out with. All right, so as far as ordering goes, ordering can be complicated, and I will encourage you not to stress too much about it. Don't go drive yourself crazy wanting to know every little thing that's used to cook everything, because we are eating out at this point. There are going to be some things that just aren't going to be as perfect maybe as they would be when you're cooking it for yourself at home. So that being said, you want your meal to look as close to something that you would make for yourself at home as possible. So for me, when I go out to eat and I'm trying to stay on track, that generally means I'm getting a giant salad with some sort of protein, usually chicken. So lots of veggies, things like that. A lot of times I'll either use oil and vinegar for the dressing, or get the dressing on the side, because they, again, will give you a ton of dressing, which maybe you wouldn't use that much at home, but they're gonna give it to you there because they want it to, be flavorful and amazing and, everything you wanna come back for. So either ask for the oil and vinegar, maybe a little salt and pepper on there, or get your dressing on the side. So there's one thing. Another thing that if I'm not getting, the giant salad or whatever, I'm gonna stick with things that I would make at home. So I love making broccoli or any kind of veggie at a restaurant. Generally, if you're getting grilled veggies, baked veggies, sauteed veggies, things like that, they're going to be a decent choice at a restaurant. So some kind of veggie side is great. For me, it generally ends up being broccoli or a baked potato. Sometimes when you go somewhere, they'll give you both, which is what I'm talking about a lot of food, because generally a potato is huge and the broccoli serving is probably completely edible, let's be honest. Greens and things like that, we want to eat them all. They're very low calorie and very nutritious. So, and then you'll get your protein. So for me, ordering out, if it's not a giant salad, I'm generally getting some kind of grilled chicken, like I said, with veggies on the side, salmon, veggies again on the side, even sometimes like a steak or something, again with some kind of veggie on the side. So it's really super simple when we break it down and think about it. We want our meal to look like something that we would consider making at home, because we consider that on track most of the time. You're making yourself your veggies and your protein and you're getting your healthy fats in and things like that. So again, just making sure that what you're ordering at the restaurant when you're trying to stay on track isn't like, okay, well, I'm at a restaurant, I'm going to kind of stay on track even though I said I wanted to be on track, and let's see, on track for me today means a cheeseburger and fries and dessert. So remember, when you want to stay on track, keep with things that you would eat at home for the most part when you're ordering. And again, I would say don't stress yourself out and by asking them, like, don't cook it in this, don't cook it in that, don't do this, don't do that, please tell me what's on it, like every single spice or whatever. We again are out to eat, so you're doing the best you can here when you go out and someone else is cooking your food. All right, so next thing is drink water. I know that when you're out to eat, it's tempting to go for drinks or that lovely lemonade or sweet tea that looks so delicious on the menu picture. But water, so much better for you, saves you money, and it's just, it's what to do. Get the water. I promise you'll be so much happier that you did afterwards. Eating pop, like drinking pop and all that kind of stuff with your food messes with digestion. And water. This is a very simple one. You would probably be drinking water if you were at home, right? So it goes along with the same thing, keeping on track with something you would eat at home, water like you would drink at home. All right, so here's something that's really, really important to remember, and that is, when you're going out to eat with other people, it's easy to feel like, oh, if such and such is getting the twice fried macaroni balls, maybe I should just get something off track too. I know I intended to stay on track, but like that looks really good, and I don't know. It's easy to fall into just doing what everyone else is doing. And I will say that, sometimes, like I said before, when you're on your treat meal or whatever you want to call it for the week or whatever, that can be great and that can be fun and whatever. But when you are trying to stay on track, you don't need to worry about what everyone else is eating. You don't need to worry about what they think about what you're eating. Your goals, your food, your decisions. So make sure if you decide to eat off track, you're doing it because it fits in with what you want to do, not because you feel pressured from your friend or whoever you're with or, things like that. Make sure you remember your goals, your food, your choice. So it's up to you whether you're wanting to stay on track or not. And if you are, don't let other people make you feel like you're missing out or anything like that. You can always, always, always go back and go out to eat and have whatever it is that they might be trying to make you feel like you're missing out on another day when it's, your time to have a treat. So remember that. Food is not something to get upset about and all that kind of stuff. All right, and so last thing, and this kind of, probably could have gone earlier. If they're giving you bread and chips and things like that, and you don't want to eat it, you don't have to eat it. You can even tell them not to bring it if, you and your husband or your boyfriend or whoever are both on the same, like, hey, we want to eat well today. It's okay to tell them not to bring the bread. It's okay not to bring the chips or the whatever they offer. I know it's really hard, but it's easier than staring at it and not eating it. It's easier to tell them, don't bring it because I'll eat it all, than letting it sit in front of you and just like salivating over it. So those are just some really quick and easy tips for when you want to stay on track when you're out to eat. There's a time and place for those treats and cheats and things or whatever you want to refer them to, indulgences. But when you do want to stay on track, remember these things. I hope they were helpful. And thanks for joining me, guys. Remember to like and subscribe and all those wonderful things that help me to be able to keep bringing you these kind of videos and workouts and all the other things. Let me know what you'd like to see below. I love to give stuff that's actually interesting for you. And so thanks for joining me. I will see you next time.